Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Snap, crack, crack, crack. Oh, there we go.
The last time we sat down together for Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, outside. That was
we
nice.
won a Canadian Screen Award.
We won a Canadian
We
Screen
won a
Award.
Canadian Screen Award.
Do we share this?
We do.
Do we have one of these?
And so
sorts of
we didn't have a
moments?
chance to do a thank you speech together. So I just
Oh,
want to thank
no.
the Academy. I want to thank Mom.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to play you off.
So no pressure. I need another great interview because these help me pay the bills and pay for it.
I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You need something. Probably tears, like
If
Barbara
you- if I
Walters
can
type
get you to
stuff,
cry,
or like
maybe the 15-minute mark.
Oh man, I can
Okay.
weep for
Deal.
you. Like you
We'll-
wouldn't. Did they only give us one trophy?
They only
share?
gave us. So for
That's
next
yours.
year, we'll make sure that the Academy gives you your own
Yeah,
trophy.
they don't just hand those out willy-nilly.
Yes, fresh off the success of Deadpool and Wolverine, Ryan is back. This time playing the role of producer for the new celebrated documentary, John Candy, I Like Me, streaming now on Prime.
Well, you think what you want about me. I'm not changing. I like me.
When you think about John Candy saying those words and everybody can kind of hear his voice saying it and how he said it, what do those words mean to you though at this point?
Wow, I'd start by saying that when you think of John Candy and you think of that moment in that movie, there's actually it's rare, but once in a while there's an actor who comes along who's the only person who could have done that line. I think it's kind of heartbreaking. I mean, that's what I love about art in general, I guess, not to sound like that guy, but it's interpretive, right? So I don't know that he believed that, And I think that's what makes it heartbreaking to me. And it's what makes it poetic and beautiful and real.
There's been so many questions about him or who he really was. There's so much lore around him. This is a really great way to be this is, from our angle, exactly who he was. And I don't know anyone more than my mom who would know that. She was right there for the whole journey.
The project is more than a tribute. It is a love letter to one of Canada's most beloved comedians who shocked the world with his passing. For Ryan, producing the doc with his friend Colin Hanks at the helm was a personal journey, celebrating humor and humanity.
This man has literally provided pure joy for us for years, but yet there's no documentary on this person. At what point did you say, you know what, no, this has to happen?
I think the two reasons. One is it's always shocking when you find somebody with subject matter like John, where there hasn't been a documentary, a proper definitive one at least. And then two, you go, why hasn't there? It was the subject matter. Bill felt, it was like, you can't do a documentary on John. John is not unimpeachable. He never did anything wrong ever once in his life. This is a guy who, ironically died of heart failure.
Yeah.
But his heart is the one thing that stayed behind. I don't know of another actor, comedian, persona that has kind of endured the way John has.
I can't tell you what was right about John Candy or what was wrong. But he was my friend, and I don't want to cry, but when I see him, when you see his face,
When I tell people, we're making a John Candy documentary, the look on their face is it just lights up.
Yeah.
And it lights up because it's standing at the intersection of just pure joy and nostalgia, which is also the greatest drug in the world.
I've made winning my whole life. And when you make winning your whole life, you have to keep on winning.
To me, the story really is about this intersection that John's at where he's a people pleaser. And I think a lot of Canadians can relate to this because I'm a people pleaser, but if you have ever had any mental health struggles, anything, and most people have, a people pleaser and mental health struggles, they're antithetical to each other. A people pleaser, will not burden anybody with their problems. Somebody who's having a mental health crisis has to. And it's a very, it's a paradox that ultimately kills people, I think, and it's something worth talking about, and it's something where John was just at the cusp of, starting to talk about it.
He took care of everybody else first, and in a way, he took care of himself maybe last. But with that being said, he emanated so much love and warmth that he did really love himself in a good way.
The film allowed me to learn so much more about him, right?
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, he put family first. That's he
100%.
loves you guys.
In retrospect, looking back on it, you just realize how much he did really care. As I'm older, you can see how busy of a schedule that really was. And so the fact that he was making an effort in a lot of different ways to include us, and then the extra mile. He would go for like birthdays or to be there for my sister's birthday, or, you know, he like would hang out like and coach like t-ball, you know, like he just really wanted to do that type of stuff. And you're just like so emotional from that, because you realize how much time has gone by, and you know, the scope of all of that stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, I very much was like appreciative of that.
As I sat to watch it, I don't know that I was expecting to have some of those feelings, right? But it was such a pleasant surprise, and I just, again, it was nostalgia, but it was also like a lot of like filling in the blanks. I was like, oh, I didn't know this about him. I didn't know that about him.
No, a lot of people didn't know a lot
Yeah.
of things about him. But also, that's what's wonderful about a documentary. You know, it's like the discovery. I still watch it and go, that didn't hit me the way it did before.
How much of watching him inspired how you perform?
Oh, tons. You know, like when I was young in my 20s, and I don't know that it's the same now. There's a lot of young actors that come out of the gate just like with the thing that they are. But I was trying on personalities like they were old shirts. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I was in my 20s, but I could mimic anyone.
Right.
So I do National Lampoon's Van Wilder, and I just go, well, I'll just do Chevy Chase.
Yes.
That'll get me the role. As soon as I walked in, I did Chevy Chase. The producers were all older than me, so they were like, oh, he feels like a young Chevy Chase. Like, this is great. You know, and, you know, I would just do different people until eventually you start to, like, find what you like and what you love. And then you start to fold those personalities in, and eventually you're sort of like made up of hundreds, maybe thousands of different kinds of people that you admired and watched. I watched SCTV, and it was like a lesson that I felt when I was younger, which is that you have to suck sometimes to learn how to be good. You have to be bad you can't be good unless you're willing to be bad. And SCTV was like ranged from genius to completely bizarre to like, what the was that?
Right.
Like, what was that? And I love that. That's life, and that's what life should be. So like when I have my kids, I'm always like, you know, my wife and I are always like, look, you guys, like, make mistakes, but don't waste them.
Right.
You know, just use them. Use your mistakes. And
have you watched any of this stuff with your kids? Like Uncle Buck or anything?
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah?
Of course. Oh my God. Well, the terrible thing is that if you like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is only rated R because one scene.
Right.
You know, welcome to Marathon. How may I help you? You know, you can start. And my kid, one of my kids, knows that one off by heart like I do.
Oh boy.
So we'll kind of, she'll skip the swear words, but I will be like, you could start by wiping that rosy smile. Rose. And you could give me a automobile like dancing. You would get Toyota Mustang, 4 wheels and a seat. I really don't appreciate the way you're speaking to me.
So
and
good.
I don't appreciate the way your company left me in the middle of nowhere with keys to a car that isn't there. I'm sorry.
John's influence on Ryan is clear, but it's not just John's comedic chops he's embodying.
Tell me about working with Ryan so closely on this, because he was like, hey, why isn't there a John Candy film?
Yeah, Ryan is like such a like super fan.
Yeah.
And I think that he's got that connective tissue with a lot of fans where my dad was really there for him in a specific way. It was great because the trade-off happened where Ryan was then able to help get this thing made. And I think that they do a lot of similar work, charitable work. I mean, even from like the Argos connection to his
And
Wrexham connection.
yeah.
There's just like, I from afar was always like, God, they have a lot in common. And the other thing they have in common is they both have like really big hearts, you know, and like Ryan is just like the sweetest dude, and I couldn't have asked for a better person to work with on this, you know. And I also have to give a super special, like, Colin Hanks just directed the hell out of this thing.
Yeah, shout out to Colin Hanks for sure.
Yeah, the three energies that put this thing together, all were doing it with love, and we're all trying to get to the same goal of like, let's do a really nice piece on this guy who was like really special to so many people.
I know that sometimes when I watch things as a kid and I watch it as an adult, I'm seeing it in 2 different ways.
man,
I'm like, wait,
yeah.
I missed
Yeah.
all of this.
Or it's just hysterical when you're young, and then when you're older, you're like, oh, this is so inappropriate.
So inappropriate.
Oh my God. I can't believe I used to shout these lines out everywhere I went.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I think my friends and I had Eddie Murphy's Delirious completely memorized. Yeah. And actually, yeah, I mean, you know, shoe and all. Like, we were kids. That's what we did. But yeah, I think like John for me was like SCTV, you know, you don't intellectualize these lessons when you're younger, right?
Right.
You feel them, and then people say they did, but no one did. You know, like it's like people say like, wow, you're doing a bunch of different industries, and you're like, yeah, I'm winging it. Everyone is. And also, like, I was lucky. I had a great mentor. I had a guy named Eric Gillen who passed away a year ago, and he was my university. I mean, at 19, he put me in writers' rooms with, like, Norman Lear and James Brooks. Like, I had no business being there. I didn't graduate high school. Like, I just had no business being there. But also introduced me to vaudeville and, you know, Harold Lloyd and Chaplin and all those great silent comedy actors, and all of that, the Buster Keaton stuff, is what I use for Deadpool. It's clown work, right? It's all pushing through. They didn't have their words, so they used their bodies. Well, I don't have a face, so I'm using my body as well to push through the mask.
Wow.
And it's like, you know, the framing, keep it belly button high so you don't know where my hands are, and I can come up with a different object each time I'm talking, and you know, you can do anything with the frame, right?
Yeah.
So, and then John, in my modern kind of world now, I find that I'm in mainstream films, I'm usually either Del Griffith or Neil Page.
Okay.
I'm exasperated Steve Martin, or I'm kind of like childlike, innocent, and vulnerable John Candy, but still biting.
I can see it as you explain it.
It's a kind of they're my two sort of go-to. I don't know, I love the way they are.
That mix of warmth and wit became Ryan's comedy compass, leading him from the writer's room to #1 on the call sheet.
I think sitcoms like kind of shaped me. You know what I mean?
Dude, you're talking to the guy who says, this is my best job I've ever had in my life. Two of my best jobs were Safeway grocery store and sitcoms.
Yeah.
They were like the funniest places I'd ever been. And I would sit on our sound stage at 20th Century Fox, and I would watch the NYPD Blue people go into the sound stage, and they wouldn't come out for like a month. And we all had the same wages. It's not fair.
Right.
It should be adjusted for like funflation or something.
Funflation,
Like there's
spoilers.
something or other. But sitcoms for me were everything.
Yeah.
Man. I loved them. They were home.
My kid is just going through this phase where she's watching all the stuff that I watch. I love sharing those moments with her. Like those are like the couch moments.
What's your go-to sitcom with her?
So she likes Full House.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know. And like she's seen all of it.
Well, I mean, Full House is like a pretty good, like, teenage, like, you know, but also the kids now at that age, though, they're watching like these old shows. They're watching also long-form shows.
I know.
Like, Blake keeps seeing kids watching Gossip Girl.
Now, even as one of Hollywood's most successful leading men, Ryan's priorities remain unchanged.
You got to receive these flowers. And actually, Chris said this too. There are so many similarities between you and John in terms of being larger than life, A-list celebrity, killing it at their craft, but still finds their way home. You are so busy and in such demand, like real demand. What is it that makes you prioritize coming back home?
Well, that's the coming back home thing doesn't change. That'll never change. But the amount of or the sheer volume of things I do has to sort of narrow, and is to a certain degree, because like you just can't really, I can't sustain that. I'm not ambitious. I'm obsessive. It's way worse.
Yeah.
Like I get obsessed with stuff, and I get excited about stuff, right? Like, I mean, that's like why my company's called Maximum Effort. We get really genuinely excited about the work that we get to do.
Yeah.
And what a great feeling. Like, nobody's ever made anything good without enthusiasm. Like, I know that's so pedantic, and it's like a camp counselor talking, you know, but it is true. Like, you have to have enthusiasm. We've all worked with the guy that's like, or the girl that's like, yeah, I don't want to do it. You know,
Yeah,
and
I don't
and
work
it's
well
not
like that.
inspiring. It's hard. You
Yeah.
want to like, okay, like let's go. You know, you're trying to pump people up and get them excited, but you can't really get somebody excited. It's organic. It has to come from within. So I love that.
For some people, Deadpool will be their Uncle Buck. Have you come to the realization yet that the work you're doing is having the same effect on lots of young people and older people? So I guess the question in all that is, do you like you?
Oh man, I don't want this to be too like
Do it.
heady,
Do
but
it.
like I'm better, not perfect, but I'm better about observing instead of evaluating. I have friends that'll ask for advice on stuff, and I'll go off on something, some tangent, and I'll write it down, because it's like everything I just said I need to do. And I say that to them too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you know, and then I also say, like, life isn't a TED Talk, you know? It's not like a, here's what I did, here's how I saw it, here's how I nailed it, here's how I scaled it, and you can too. It's like, No, we're all just like wandering around on this giant green rock, hurtling through space, trying not to kill each other. Like, we're winging it and we're trying to figure it out the same way everyone else is, and it's you know, we just work better by going like evaluating everything, right? That's better than that. This is better than this. It's why I left LA years ago, because even when I was on the big billboard in the middle of Sunset Boulevard, it didn't bring me any kind of like, I just went, I wonder who's next. You know, or I wonder whose place I took for now. You know, and I just like, it's not great for your self-esteem to kind of be thinking like that.
It sounds like you've made a commitment to continuously work on yourself.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess sometimes I'll go periods where I'm like, you know, just like, I don't know, like I wake up and I'm like, I was on autopilot for so long. You know, we all kind of have those moments too, but those are also moments of rest, right? Like, all I care about though is like, and it's a luxury to have this, you know, but it's just being with my family. Like, it's really like, you said, always going home, and it is you know, I do. I go home and covered in blood. I go home covered in I'm wearing my Deadpool suit still when I get home. Like, I don't, you know, it's if I can cut 2 minutes out of the process and get back that much faster, and on the off chance someone's awake still, or, you know, it's that's what it's all about, and it's a good feeling, you know. It's a good feeling to have that as a priority, because I know people that don't.
Yes.
And I'm not judging them, because they're living their life the way they want to live it, but like, it does feel to me like you're a little bit of a wayward son. You're a little lost and a little kind of in the weeds and can't quite see.
100%. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna play a game. We call it Candy Crush, because it's not copywritten or anything. I'm gonna say out a quote. You tell me what movie it's from. If you get at least 5 of them correct, we've got some delicious room temperature Canadian bacon.
Oh, how lovely.
Yeah,
oh, God.
actually,
is it uncooked or cooked, or what are we talking
it's uncooked.
here?
It's actually...
Oh, wonderful. God, nothing gamier, chewier than raw pork on a full stomach right before you get on an airplane. Let's do this.
Ready, set, go. Those aren't pillows.
Well, that's Steve Martin, Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Okay. I'm a Mog, half man, half dog.
That's John Candy. Baseballs.
Wow, that's quick. Who wants an orange whip?
This is John Candy, the Blues Brothers. Orange whip, orange whip,
Orange whip.
orange whip.
There are worse organs not to be working.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I don't know.
Really? I thought you'd get this one.
It's just
Not
that I
to be
use that
working.
excuse all the time. What one is that? Tell me. Oh.
There are worse organs not to be working.
Well, I thought you would have got that. Okay.
I
never
thought I
mind.
would have got that.
All right, so one
Splash,
wrong.
of course, yeah.
Oh, wait, one more wrong and you lose the bacon. Oh, my God. What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
Well, that's, of course, Uncle Buck and Macaulay Culkin and John Candy, but I really want the ringworm, not even the bacon, the raw pork. Just let's cut straight to the ringworm.
Get to the ringworm. Oh, please, you have to get this one. Okay, ready?
I hope so.
A gold medal is a wonderful thing, but if you're not enough without it,
Cool Runnings.
you'll-
Thank you very much.
Cool Running. Jamaica, we have a
Jamaica.
bobsled team.
Yes, yes. I almost did the Jamaican, but that's no, you don't do that.
Yeah, you can do it.
No.
All right, ready?
Thanks, Tyrone.
I would love to see you do
What
Jamaican.
happened? Well, Tyrone.
Get
was
your
like,
special
Tyrone
sock
was
out.
like, do it.
Last one, ready?
Yeah, ready.
Get your special sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Oh, well, come on, that's Ryan Reynolds in the feature film Deadpool and Wolverine.
That's
He played
it.
Deadpool, Wade Wilson, and a couple other characters.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Get the
that's
special
our time.
sock out.
And
Yeah.
that is our...
Moms everywhere know the special sock. Some dads do as well.
yeah,
It's terrible.
everybody's got a special sock.
No. It's terrible. It's terrible. Especially when they're like as a sock puppet. It makes a terrible sock puppet.
Oh my God.